Basketball wasn't always the game we know today. When you watch LeBron, Steph, or KD, you're seeing a sport that's been transformed by wild, even blasphemous rule changes. Some of the most iconic plays today? They were once illegal. We're about to dive into the most shocking, unbelievable, and downright crazy rule changes in basketball history. From banned dunks to bizarre free throw routines, these twists will blow your mind. So buckle up. This isn't just a history lesson, it's an expose on how basketball became the game you love. Stay tuned because we're just getting started. Let's start with one of the most infamous rule changes ever, the NCAA's 1967 ban on the slam dunk. Imagine outlawing the most electrifying play in basketball. Why? One reason: Lou Alcindor, later known as Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Kareem was so dominant at UCLA that the NCAA tried to stop him by banning dunks, the Alcindor rule. For 9 years, college basketball lost its most exciting play. Players had to settle for layups and tip-ins, but Kareem adapted, perfecting the skyhook and proving you can't legislate greatness. The dunk ban stifled excitement and punished excellence, but in 1976, sanity returned and the dunk was reinstated. The game exploded with energy again, and the dunk became a symbol of basketball's spirit. This episode is a reminder: fear should never write the rule book. Even when the game tried to ground its giants, true talent found a way to soar. The dunk's return was a victory for common sense, and for the soul of basketball. Never forget, they once tried to kill the dunk. Let's make sure it never happens again. Picture this. Every time a team scored, the game stopped for a jump ball at center court. Every single time. From 1891 to 1937, basketball was a start-and-stop affair with no flow or fast breaks. Scoring meant a complete reset, not a chance to set up your defense. Teams with a tall center could dominate possession, making the game slow and predictable. The constant jump balls killed momentum and made strategy all about height, not skill. In 1937, the rule changed. Now, the non-scoring team inbounds the ball under the basket. This single tweak unleashed the fast break, injected pace, and transformed basketball into the dynamic sport we love. Suddenly, every basket became an opportunity, not a stoppage. The game evolved from a static contest to a thrilling, free-flowing spectacle. Getting rid of the jump ball after every score wasn't just a tweak, it was a revolution. It allowed for new strategies, diverse player roles, and real excitement. Basketball finally started to run, and it's never looked back. For 50 years, there was no goaltending rule. Defenders could swat the ball away even after it hit the backboard or sat on the rim. Enter George Mikan, the first dominant big man, who turned the paint into a no-fly zone. Teams couldn't score, shots were erased at the rim, making finesse pointless. In 1944, the goaltending rule was born. Once the ball's on its way down or touches the backboard, hands off. This change restored fairness and skill to the game, forcing big men to time their blocks and rewarding offensive creativity. It let players develop floaters, bank shots, and the art of touch around the rim. Goaltending balanced offense and defense, protecting the integrity of a made shot. Without it, the low-post game and modern scoring wouldn't exist. The rule was a game-changer, ensuring skill, not just size, would win the day, and basketball became better for it. Imagine basketball where you could only dribble once. That was the rule until 1937. One bounce, then you had to pass or shoot. No crossovers, no drives, no breaking down defenders. The game was a static, passing-heavy affair, no room for individual creativity. Guards were just passers and shooters. The idea of a playmaking point guard was impossible. Defenses had a huge advantage and the game was slow and congested. In 1937, unlimited dribbling was allowed, unlocking the game's true potential. Suddenly players could attack, create space, and dazzle with ball handling. The dribble became a weapon, not just a reset. This change birthed the modern basketball player and the highlight reel moves we love. Basketball transformed from a rigid exercise to a dance of skill and creativity. Without dribbling freedom, the sport would be unrecognizable. Sometimes the simplest change has the biggest impact. Imagine basketball with no three-point line. For decades, every shot, layup, or deep bomb was worth 2 points. Legends like Jerry West and Oscar Robertson got no extra reward for their range. The game was played inside out, with big men dominating the paint and spacing an afterthought. In 1979, the NBA introduced the three-point line, and at first it was seen as a gimmick. Teams barely used it, and coaches were skeptical. But as players embraced the shot, everything changed. Defenses stretched, driving lanes opened, and smaller players became stars. The three-pointer added strategy, excitement, and a new dimension to the game. Today, it's the centerpiece of modern offense. Entire teams are built around it. Players keep pushing their range and the game keeps evolving. The three-point revolution is one of sport's greatest transformations, all from a simple arc on the floor. The game will never be the same. Here's a wild one. From 1891 to 1896, free throw shooters had to jump and land past the line after every shot. Imagine players hopping back and forth at the line. It was more circus act than shooting contest. The rule made free throws unpredictable and awkward, with timing and balance all over the place. It didn't last long. By 1896, common sense prevailed, and shooters could stand still behind the line. This change turned free throws into a true test of skill and routine. It's a hilarious footnote in basketball history, and a reminder of how far the game has come. Today's calm, focused free throw owes everything to ditching the hop. Sometimes the best rules are the simplest, and sometimes history is just plain weird. Imagine basketball with no shot clock. Before 1954, teams could stall endlessly, passing the ball to kill time. The result? Games like the infamous 1918 snooze fest between the Pistons and Lakers. Fans booed, and the sport nearly died of boredom. Enter Danny Biasone, who invented the 24-second shot clock by dividing game time by average shots. The NBA adopted it, and overnight, the game transformed. Scoring soared, pace quickened, and stalling vanished. The shot clock forced teams to attack, innovate, and keep fans on the edge of their seats. It's the single most important rule change in basketball history. The shot clock is the engine that drives the sport, creating urgency and drama every possession. Without it, the NBA wouldn't be the global powerhouse it is today. Every buzzer beater, every frantic possession, you can thank the shot clock. It saved basketball from itself. And it's why the game never stands still. The clock is always ticking, and that's what makes basketball electric. For 55 years, NBA teams were forced to play man-to-man defense. Zone defense was illegal. Coaches couldn't pack the paint or use zones to protect weaker defenders. Every player had to guard someone, creating one-on-one battles everywhere. The rule was meant to promote offense and showcase stars, but it became outdated as the game evolved. Coaches bent the rules with complex, illegal defenses, and referees struggled to enforce them. As international players brought new styles, the NBA needed more strategic diversity. In 2001, the league finally allowed zone defense. Coaches like Popovich and Carlisle quickly adapted, adding layers of strategy and complexity. Offenses had to evolve, becoming smarter and more versatile. The change made the game deeper, more dynamic, and more global. Sometimes breaking old rules is how you move the game forward. The backcourt violation, once you cross half court you can't go back, didn't exist until 1921. Before that, teams could retreat across midcourt whenever pressured, making defense nearly impossible. Offenses stalled, reset, and played it safe, slowing the game to a crawl. The new rule forced teams to commit to attacking and made ball handlers more decisive. It gave defenses new tools, the 10-second rule, traps, and real pressure. The backcourt violation created urgency and raised the stakes on every possession. It's a small rule with a massive impact, and it's why basketball is always moving forward. Here's a strange one. Until 1954, teams had a designated free throw shooter, no matter who got fouled. Your best shooter could come off the bench just to take the shots, while poor shooters never faced the line. It removed accountability and strategy from late-game situations. In 1954, the rule changed. Now, the fouled player shoots. Suddenly, every player had to be ready for clutch moments. Free throw shooting became an essential skill for everyone, not just specialists. The drama of seeing a poor shooter at the line in crunch time, that's thanks to this rule. It made the game fairer, more logical, and way more exciting. Sometimes the obvious rule is the best one. And there you have it, a wild ride through basketball's craziest rule changes. From banned dunks to hopping free throws, these tweaks shaped the fast-paced, high-flying game we love. Every rule has a story, and every change made basketball better. Next time you watch a game, remember, the sport is always evolving. Which rule surprised you most? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more basketball history.